What if I told you there are 8 silent killers working against your body right now, after age 60, that most doctors never even mention? And they're the real reasons so many seniors feel tired, stiff, and just off, even when their regular checkups come back fine. These aren't the dramatic things you see on the news. They sneak up quietly, stealing your energy, your mobility, your sharp mind, until one day you realize you're not keeping up with the grandkids, or you're skipping the hike you used to love. But here's the best part. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need to swallow a handful of expensive pills every morning. You don't even need to overhaul your entire life. Stick with me for the next 20 minutes or so, and I'm going to walk you through a simple, step-by-step system that thousands of my patients in their 60s, 70s, and beyond have used to shut these killers down, so you can wake up with more energy, move without that constant ache, sleep deeper, and actually feel like yourself again. No drama, just real results you can start today. These are the kind of folks who still want to travel, garden, and enjoy every single day without their body holding them back. I've seen it all in my clinic, and I've poured everything I've learned into this exact approach. So when I say this works, I'm not guessing. I've watched it change lives. Now, let me reframe something for you that most conventional doctors miss. You've probably heard the phrase, "it's just aging." Your blood work looks okay, your cholesterol is borderline, maybe your energy is lower than it used to be, and the doctor says, "Welcome to your 60s. Here's a new prescription." But that's not the full story. These 8 silent killers aren't normal aging. They're specific, measurable processes happening deep inside your cells and systems that standard labs often ignore until damage is already done. They feed off each other, creating a downward spiral that steals your independence one quiet day at a time.
Let me walk you through them one by one so you can see exactly what's been happening. The first silent killer is chronic low-grade inflammation. Not the kind that swells up after an injury. This is a slow, smoldering fire in your tissues. After 60, it ramps up because your immune system gets a little confused and starts attacking your own healthy cells. It damages blood vessels, joints, even your brain. And it's why so many people wake up with mysterious aches or feel foggy by afternoon. The second is mitochondrial dysfunction. Your mitochondria are the tiny power plants inside every single cell. They make the energy that keeps you moving, thinking, and healing. After 60, they start producing less ATP and more harmful free radicals. The result? You feel exhausted even after a good night's sleep. Your metabolism slows, and everything from your heart to your brain works harder just to keep up. Third, hormonal imbalances. Not just the obvious ones. Your thyroid slows, testosterone or estrogen drops even if you're not in full menopause or andropause. Cortisol stays elevated from everyday stress. This quietly sabotages your muscle, your mood, your sleep, and your waistline. Fourth, sarcopenia, rapid loss of muscle mass and strength. It starts so subtly you barely notice, but by your mid-60s, you can lose up to 8% of your muscle every decade if nothing is done. Weak legs mean more falls, less confidence leaving the house, and eventually dependence on others. Fifth is stealth insulin resistance. Even if your fasting sugar looks normal, your cells stop responding well to insulin. Blood sugar swings silently inflame your arteries and your brain, raising your risk for heart issues and even cognitive decline long before diabetes shows up on a chart. Sixth, arterial stiffness. Your blood vessels lose their youthful flexibility. Plaque quietly builds, blood pressure creeps up, and oxygen delivery to your brain and heart suffers. It's why some folks get lightheaded when they stand, or just feel off during simple tasks. Seventh, neuroinflammation and shrinking brain volume. Inflammation crosses the blood-brain barrier. BDNF, your brain's fertilizer, drops, and connections between neurons weaken. Memory slips, focus fades, and that spark you once had feels harder to find. And the eighth silent killer is a compromised gut barrier, often called leaky gut. Your intestinal lining gets porous, letting tiny particles into your bloodstream that trigger whole body inflammation, mess with your hormones, confuse your immune system, and even contribute to brain fog. Most doctors don't test for it, yet it fuels almost every other killer on this list.
See how they all connect? One feeds the next. That's why simply treating symptoms with another pill never feels like enough. You've been fighting 8 interconnected problems with one-size-fits-all advice. But here's the part I want you to really hear, and I say this with every ounce of experience I have. None of this is inevitable. Your body still has an incredible ability to heal and repair, even after 60. I've had patients in their late 70s drop their inflammatory markers by half, rebuild muscle they thought was gone forever, balance hormones naturally, and wake up saying, "Doc, I feel like I got my life back." The key is giving your body the exact signals it needs in the right order. That's what my 3-step system does. It's gentle, practical, and designed for real life. No marathon workouts, no complicated meal plans. So, let's get into it. I'm going to walk you through each step slowly so you understand exactly why it works, how to do it, and how the pieces stack together to quiet all 8 killers at once. You'll see how one small change supports your joints, your brain, your metabolism, and your hormones all at the same time. Ready? Let's start with step 1. Step 1 is what I call the cellular energy reset. This is the foundation because everything else depends on your mitochondria working properly and inflammation being under control. Without energy at the cellular level, your hormones can't balance, your muscles can't rebuild, and your brain can't repair. Here's why it works so well. When your mitochondria are functioning better, they produce clean energy instead of toxic byproducts. That directly calms chronic inflammation, improves insulin sensitivity, and even helps your arteries stay flexible because better energy means better blood flow. Patients often tell me within 2 weeks their afternoon fatigue is gone and their joints feel less creaky because the fire is finally turning down. Here's how you do it. Super simple. Every morning within 30 minutes of waking, spend 5 minutes doing what I call sunlight breathing. Step outside or sit by a bright window. Take slow, deep breaths. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. At the same time, get natural light on your face and eyes. This simple habit signals your mitochondria to wake up and start producing energy efficiently. Then, with every meal, make sure you're including one anti-inflammatory food you already love. Think a handful of blueberries, a sprinkle of turmeric on your eggs, or some olive oil on your salad. That's it for the food piece. No calorie counting, no special diet. Now, most people get some benefit from these habits alone, but after 60, your body often needs a little extra targeted support to make the change stick long term. That's where a high-quality omega-3 fish oil comes in as a powerful tool. First, you could try eating fatty fish, like wild salmon, twice a week. That's the free, whole food way, and it's fantastic if you enjoy it. But for consistent therapeutic levels of EPA and DHA, the exact compounds that cross into your cells and quiet inflammation at the source, most of my patients over 60 do better with a supplement. The one I recommend is a molecularly distilled third-party tested fish oil with at least 1,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA per serving. It's more effective long-term because it's ultra-pure, free of heavy metals that can actually worsen mitochondrial stress, and the dose is reliable every single day. You simply take 2 soft gels with your largest meal. Breakfast or lunch works great. That's it. Start with that for 30 days, and you'll likely notice less morning stiffness and steadier energy. Safety note, if you're on blood thinners or have a fish allergy, just run it by your doctor first. But for most folks, it's gentle and well tolerated. Think of it as an investment, maybe $30 a month that can reduce your need for pain relievers or anti-inflammatory meds over time. Your joints, your heart, your brain, and even your gut all thank you because lower inflammation means every other system works better. Once you've got step 1 running for a couple of weeks, you'll already feel the foundation getting stronger. That sets up step 2 perfectly. Step 2 is the metabolic harmony routine. This one targets hormonal balance, insulin sensitivity, and that leaky gut connection that so many people overlook. When these 3 are in sync, the silent killers lose their fuel. Insulin resistance drops, hormones stabilize, and inflammation from the gut calms dramatically. Science-wise, it's beautiful. Balanced blood sugar keeps your mitochondria from getting overwhelmed. Stable hormones tell your body to hold on to muscle instead of breaking it down. And a healthy gut lining stops inflammatory particles from leaking into your bloodstream, protecting your brain and arteries at the same time. Patients often report better sleep, fewer sugar cravings, and a noticeable lift in mood within 3 to 4 weeks. Here's how you do it every day. Easy and beginner-friendly. First, eat your meals in a gentle 12-hour window. For example, finish dinner by 7 p.m. and don't eat again until 7 a.m. This gives your gut and your insulin receptors time to reset without feeling restrictive. Second, include a fermented food or a fiber-rich vegetable with at least 2 meals: sauerkraut, plain yogurt, or steamed broccoli. These feed the good bacteria that repair your gut lining and help regulate hormones. For even better results, many people add a short evening wind down, 10 minutes of gentle stretching or legs up the wall pose before bed. It lowers cortisol so your thyroid and sex hormones can do their nighttime repair work. Now, while fermented foods are wonderful, getting consistent, high-potency probiotics from food alone can be tricky, especially if your gut has been struggling for years. That's where a targeted probiotic supplement becomes a smart, long-term ally. You could rely on yogurt and kimchi, and they help, but a multi-strain, refrigerated probiotic with at least 50 billion CFUs of specific strains, like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium, delivers the exact bacteria that reseal the gut lining and support hormone metabolism far more reliably. Take 1 capsule first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, 30 minutes before breakfast. Store it in the fridge so the live cultures stay strong. It's gentle, no bloating for most people after the first few days, and pairs beautifully with step 1. Again, this isn't a forever crutch. It's training wheels for your microbiome, while your diet does the heavy lifting. Over time, it can save you money by reducing digestive issues that lead to more doctor visits. Your energy stabilizes, your waistline feels easier to manage, and that brain fog many people blame on just aging starts to lift because the gut-brain axis finally gets the support it needs. With steps 1 and 2 working together, your cellular engines are humming and your internal environment is calmer. That's when step 3 really shines, because now your body is ready to rebuild. Step 3 is the strength and resilience builder. This step directly fights sarcopenia, supports brain health, improves circulation, and strengthens immunity, so the last of those silent killers lose their grip. Why it works? Gentle resistance and recovery signals tell your muscles to grow instead of waste away. Better muscle mass naturally improves insulin sensitivity and hormone production. Increased blood flow from movement keeps arteries flexible, and the right recovery nutrients protect your brain's neurons while boosting BDNF. Everything stacks. Energy from step 1, balance from step 2, and now strength and protection from step 3. It's a complete system. How to do it? Keep it simple and joint-friendly. 3 times a week, do what I call kitchen counter strength. Stand at your kitchen counter for support and do 10 slow body weight squats, 10 wall push-ups, and 10 seated marches lifting 1 knee at a time. That's it. Takes 5 minutes. Focus on controlled movement, not speed. On the other 4 days, take a 15-minute walk outside after lunch. The natural light and gentle motion improves circulation and mood without stressing your body. To accelerate recovery and protect your brain and joints even more, add 1 key nutrient most people over 60 are low in: magnesium.
You can get some from leafy greens and nuts, and that's a great start. But after age 60, absorption drops, and the amount you need for muscle repair, deep sleep, and brain calming is often higher than food alone can provide. That's why I recommend a magnesium complex that includes both glycinate for relaxation and threonate for crossing into the brain. Take 2 capsules about an hour before bed with a small glass of water. It's non-habit forming, helps you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer, reduces nighttime leg cramps, and supports healthy blood pressure. Patients tell me their morning stiffness is noticeably less and their mind feels sharper. Safety tip: start with 1 capsule for a few nights if you're sensitive, and check with your doctor if you have kidney concerns. Long-term, this one habit often reduces reliance on sleep aids or muscle relaxants, another smart investment in your independence and daily comfort. When you stack all 3 steps, cellular energy reset in the morning, metabolic harmony throughout the day, and strength and resilience in the evening, you're hitting every single one of those 8 silent killers from multiple angles. Inflammation cools, mitochondria revive, hormones steady, muscle returns, blood sugar evens out, arteries stay flexible, your brain gets protection, and your gut barrier heals. It's not magic, it's smart, layered support for the body you already have. Now, let me paint the picture of what consistent practice looks like after 30, 60, and 90 days. Imagine waking up without that heavy fog. Your feet hit the floor and there's no creaking in your knees. You walk to the kitchen with a natural spring in your step. Breakfast tastes better because your energy is steady, no 10 a.m. crash. By afternoon, you're out in the garden or playing with the grandkids without needing to sit down every 20 minutes. Evenings feel peaceful instead of exhausted. Sleep comes easily, and you wake refreshed. Clothes fit better. Your mind is clearer, you remember names, follow conversations, even feel that quiet confidence that says, "I've still got this." Friends start asking what you're doing differently. And the best part? You're not just surviving your 60s, you're actually enjoying them, planning trips, laughing more, living the life you pictured when you were younger. That's the future pacing I want for you. It's possible. I've seen it hundreds of times. One quick bonus tip to layer on top once the 3 steps feel natural. End your shower with 30 seconds of cool water on your legs and feet. It boosts circulation, trains your blood vessels to stay flexible, and gives your mitochondria a tiny, healthy stress that makes them stronger. Totally free, takes no extra time, and the invigorating feeling is addictive. If this resonated with you today, do me a favor. Drop a comment below with the number of the silent killer that surprised you most. I read every single one, and it helps me know what to cover in future videos. If you have a friend or family member over 40 who needs to hear this, share the video with them. And if you want more simple, doctor-approved ways to stay strong and independent for decades to come, hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you never miss the next one. You've got more good years ahead than you realize, and I'm here to help you claim every single